What's up guys, Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update, so I want to break down some technicals going over both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, and at the end of the video I will be breaking down from a technical standpoint Tesla, Nvidia, which is reporting earnings tomorrow, and Nano Dimension. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And what happened today in the market? So today we had a red day all across the board. The Russell 2000 went down 1.19%, NASDAQ went down 0.93%, Dow Jones went down 0.79%, and the S&P 500 went down 0.71%. However, guys, this scenario was looking way uglier than it actually closed today. At some point, the Dow Jones was down something like 500 points. The S&P 500 closed at 4,448 points, but it went down to 4420. The Russell 2000 broke the lower support of 2,160 points. However, this index managed to close today's trading session above that support. So we clearly had a red day all across the board, but this was looking way uglier 3 hours ago. And when it comes to the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, the best performing sectors in today's trading session were healthcare, real estate, utilities, consumer staples, and financials. And by the way, guys, I have an interesting fact for you over here. So far, and during this earnings season, 86% of utilities stocks have beaten on earnings. 82% of real estate stocks have also beaten on earnings, and 77% of financial stocks have beaten on earnings. And on the flip side, what's the worst sector when it comes to earnings during the current earnings season? None other than the tech sector. Only 56% of tech stocks have beaten on earnings so far. So what's the moral of the story? Well, the moral of the story is that the markets are being extremely demanding with tech-oriented stocks. So the bar was set very high for that kind of stocks because we have inflation fears. And on the flip side of the inflation fear, we find now we have a situation in which the markets are scared about the Delta variant of the COVID-19. Actually, this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had the retail sales of July coming out, and they came out way worse than expected. So analysts were expecting a decline month over month of 0.3%, and the report of retail sales came out at minus 1.1%. So the markets have a lot on their plates right now. We have inflation fears, we have slow growth fears. So my hunch, guys, and I gotta be very honest with you, and you guys know that I am a bull, but I think that we are going to see a correction, at least a tiny correction of 5% in a matter of 1 month and a half. We should see at least a 5% pullback in the major indices. That's my hunch. And talking about the major indices, so the S&P 500 went down today 0.71%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,448 points, and this index didn't reach a new all-time high today, so that's something that is worth pointing out. Okay, so what happened today? We saw a massive drop as soon as the trading session opened, and take a look at the spot in which the bulls managed to find support in today's trading session, guys, right at the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near 4420. Right after that area of support was held, this index went up and the bulls managed to close above 4440. Because as I just said, the S&P 500 closed today's trading session at 4448. And remember, guys, that we have basically I'm talking about, an upside potential. We have basically, or to the upside rather, we have two very important areas of lower support. The first one at 44.62 or 44.60, which is going to act as overhead resistance in tomorrow's trading session, a former area of lower support that was broken to the downside and that now is going to act as a new resistance. But I have also told you here on the channel that once 44.60 is broken to the downside, then the next important area of lower support is at 44.40, and the bulls managed to reconquer this spot into the closing bell. So the main area of lower support in tomorrow's trading session is going to be 44.40, and if that area of lower support happens to be broken to the downside, then I am going to keep a close watch on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near 44.20. If we take a look at the relative strength index of the S&P, it is at 51 points, very healthy from a technical standpoint. So as of now, we can make the case that the S&P 500 is neither oversold nor overbought. We are still on a clear uptrend, and we are also still trading above the moving averages. So there's nothing wrong with the S&P 500, but I believe that maybe we can actually hit 4,500, guys, as I have been calling out here on the channel, and that might be the top. And then we could see a 5% drop. Let me take a look at this, guys. So a 5% drop in the case of the S&P will take this index down to 4260. I mean, that's not a lot. That would be a very healthy correction. Or what about a 7% correction? What are we looking at? We're looking at 4200. So I think that a correction is coming, at least a tiny correction. Remember that when we talk about a correction, we are talking about a drop in a stock or in a index of more than 10%. So if we happen to see a pullback of 5 or 10%, that is going to be a tiny correction. And in the case of the NASDAQ 100, I think that the bulls managed to hold 15,000 points into the closing bell, and yes, they did. So the NASDAQ 100 closed today's trading session at 15,002 points. Unbelievable. I mean, 15,000 points has turned into a real nightmare for the bears in the NASDAQ 100. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, but I wanna pull up here just to make fun of the bears. Take a look, guys, at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. So I told you in the video that we posted yesterday that the bears couldn't manage to keep or hold the NASDAQ 100 below 15,000 points on Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday, and today the same thing happened. However, we can make the case that since Wednesday of last week, every single time that the bears break 15,000 points to the downside momentarily, they are taking the NASDAQ 100 lower as time passes by, because on Wednesday the bulls managed to find support at 14,974 points. Then on Thursday the bulls found support at 14,958 points. Then in yesterday's trading session the bulls managed to find support at 14,931 points, and today the bulls held barely by a hair 14,900 points. So we can make the case that the bears are getting steam here, guys. They are getting stronger in the NASDAQ 100. However, and let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and now take a look. I hadn't noticed this, guys. So as of now, we are trading below the 50 SMA. So yeah, definitely the bears are getting stronger over here, no doubt about it. So the bulls, even though the bulls managed to close above 15,000 points, they couldn't manage to hold the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So the NASDAQ 100 is starting to look a bit bearish. I'm gonna give the bears that. So the most important area of lower support in tomorrow's trading session is going to be 14,900 points. I have been calling out this area, this level, as a very important area of lower support in the NASDAQ 100, because we are talking about an area, a level that has already acted as a lower support on 1, 2, and 3 occasions before, but we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of the NASDAQ 100 already felt on 1 and 2 occasions before, and we are also talking about an area that was a level or that turned into a new all-time high in the case of the NASDAQ 100 back in early July. So yeah, even though, and as I just said, even though the bulls managed to reconquer 15,000 points into the closing bell, the bears are looking stronger as days pass by in the NASDAQ 100. And I also wanted to go over the Russell 2000 because today, guys, something very bearish happened and the bulls managed to reconquer 2,160 points. So the Russell 2000 has been trading inside this horizontal channel since early February without doing much. And take a look at how, guys, the bulls of the Russell 2000 have been able to reconquer the lower line of this horizontal channel on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions since early February. And the same thing happened today. So the bears happened or were able to break the lower line of this horizontal channel to the downside. The bulls managed to find support at 2,151 points, and then they also managed to reconquer the lower line of this horizontal channel, and the Russell 2000 closed today's trading session at 2,177 points. So the Russell doesn't look any good, but at least we can point out as something hopeful that the lower line of this horizontal channel was respected once again, was held once again by the bulls of the Russell 2000. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. And the stock of this company has gotten absolutely killed, guys. So I'm going to pull up here the 5-day, 5-minute chart, and Tesla went down today 2.96%, and it closed today's trading session at $665.71. So since this was today, Tuesday, Monday, so since last Friday, guys, the stock of this company has dropped something like 11%, right? Since the high of last Friday's trading session until the low point of today's trading session. That's a sizable drop. And mostly taking into account that we are talking about a massive company like Tesla, which has a massive market capitalization. So Tesla closed at $665, and the stock of this company has been falling, guys, because there is an investigation that is being carried out about the FSD, about the full self-driving system of Tesla. And yesterday we had news about Mr. Michael Burry, which started a new short position in Tesla with put options. So the media has been, telling this news the wrong way, because they have been saying that Michael Burry is betting $31 million against Tesla, but that's not what actually happened. So this guy purchased a bunch of put options that, if those put options happen to be in the money by the expiration date, are going to let Michael Burry acquire control of $31 million worth of Tesla stock. So this guy is not actually betting $31 million against Tesla. We don't know anything about the expiration date of those puts. We don't know anything about the strike price of those puts. So as of now, this is pretty much a speculation. And today, Cathy Wood, the director of ARK Invest, because this guy Michael Burry also started a short position on ARK Innovation ETF, and Cathy would say that he is clueless about disruptive technology. So it's been a bit polemical, guys. But I cannot talk about the short position of Michael Burry because those puts could expire 2 months out or 1 year out or 2 years out. We don't know anything about those puts. I know for sure that he's not actually betting $31 million against Tesla. He bought put options that, if happen to be in the money by the expiration date, are going to give Michael Burry control of $31 million worth of Tesla stock. So that's a whole different story. But the media is saying over and over and over again that Michael Burry is investing $31 billion against Tesla, that Michael Burry is taking a chance of $31 million against Tesla. That's not actually what is going on over here. Obviously, this guy is bearish about Tesla, but I think that for the most part, guys, he's very bearish in regard to the stock market. This guy believes that we're going to see hyperinflation here in the US, and obviously, if we happen to see hyperinflation, if the Federal Reserve happens to raise interest rates a lot, obviously, guys, that's a no-brainer. Tesla and ARK Innovation Fund are going to drop, I don't know, 20 more percent or 30 more percent, we don't know. So in my opinion, I think that this guy is taking a chance against the American economy. He believed that inflation is going to get out of control, and he also believed that obviously the Federal Reserve is going to increase the interest rate sooner than expected, and if that happens, obviously Tesla and ARK Innovation Fund are going to take a huge hit. So let me pull up here the 4-hour chart because I am talking too much. Sorry about that, guys. So Tesla closed at $666. So in terms of support, the most important area for tomorrow's trading session is going to be $660. $660 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Tesla, back on May 3rd, also back on March 17, also back on February 25th, but we are also talking about a former area of resistance in which the bulls of Tesla felt back in the beginning of December. So in terms of support, and if any of you wants to start a trade on Tesla, watch out tomorrow for $660. If Tesla happens to pull back right at the opening, and if a good support happens to be found at that area, we can see Tesla pulling back up, in which case the next important area of overhead resistance is going to be at $695. $695 is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Tesla felt back on July 12th. They also failed back on July 1st and also back on June 24th. If we could take a trade on Tesla, guys, picking up shares at $660 and selling out of those shares at $695 or $697, we're looking at a 5% profit. And mind you, guys, take a look at the RSI of Tesla. It is at 31 points. Tesla is not very oversold, but it is definitely oversold. And take a look at what happened, guys. Take a look at this red line here. So take a look at what happened. Every single time that the RSI of Tesla on the 4-hour chart reached 15 points, we saw a massive spike right after that. In this case, Tesla went up something like 17% when the RSI dropped down to 15 points. And here, this was back in February, Tesla also went up. Let me see over here, something like 20%. So watch out for the RSI, guys. If Tesla tomorrow happens to break the lower support of $660, then it could easily pay a visit to the other important area of lower support near $620, which is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Tesla on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 occasions before. And if that happens, the RSI is going to drop down further. And if we happen to see the RSI on the 4-hour chart reaching 15 points, and at the same time, if we happen to see Tesla stock paying a visit to $620, that could be a recipe for a bounce back up of 10 or 20%. That's just my hunch. And now let's go ahead and take a look at good old Nvidia, which is going to be the second stock of this video. And in the case of Nvidia went down today 2.47%, and it closed today's trading session at $194.58. And Nvidia is reporting earnings tomorrow. Hey, by the way, guys, I didn't show you the earnings reports of the rest of the week. So yeah, tomorrow we have before open target, lows. What else? Then after close, we have Nvidia and Cisco. Then on Thursday, we have Macy's, Kohl's, Bilibili's, Telauter. Then after that's before open. After close, we have Applied Materials and Ross. This is a very important week in terms of earnings reports of retail companies. And on Friday, we have John Deere and Foot Locker. So let me go back to Nvidia. So Nvidia's reporting earnings tomorrow. And what happened in the case of Nvidia during its last two earnings reports? So Nvidia reported its second to last earnings report back on February 24th, and after that report came out, the stock of this company fell off a cliff, something like 22%. We saw a big drop after Nvidia reported posted its second to last earnings report. And the last earnings report of Nvidia came out on May 26th. And after that report came out, guys, this was unbelievable. Nvidia went up 34%. I don't think that Nvidia is going to go 34% after having reported earnings tomorrow. And keep in mind, this is a tech company. Remember that so far, the tech stocks have been the stocks that that have done the worst after having reported earnings, because the bar was set very high for them. So we can expect maybe Nvidia to fail or miss on earnings tomorrow. We will see what happens. Okay, in my case, and taking into account that Nvidia closed today's trading session at $194. This is a very volatile stock when it is reporting earnings. So Nvidia might be a runner tomorrow, guys. If tomorrow I happen to see Nvidia paying a visit to $192, which is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Nvidia on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions in recent days, but we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Nvidia failed back on June 18th. Well, at that price, I am going to be tempted in order to pick up probably 30 or 40 shares of Nvidia. If I were brave enough to hold my shares, if I happen to pick up shares tomorrow at $192, and if I were brave enough in order to hold those shares through earnings, that may be the case. I don't know. It depends. I don't like holding stocks through earnings. But I don't know, guys. I mean, if I actually pick up some shares of Nvidia at $192, then my price target is, if I happen to go through earnings, holding my shares, is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance for Nvidia near $206. $206 is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Nvidia failed back on, this was August 5th, and they also failed back on July 12th and also back on July 6th. So for whoever is able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, purchasing shares at $192 and selling out of those shares at $206, we are looking at a 6% profit. That's a very solid profit, and we can make the case that if tomorrow Nvidia happens to beat on earnings, maybe the stock of this company can fill this gap up. So watch out tomorrow for Nvidia paying a visit down to $192, finding a good support over there, and then bouncing back up. And the last stock of this video is going to be Nano Dimension, and oh boy, the stock of this company has gotten absolutely killed since mid-February. So Nano Dimension went down today 4.43%, and it closed today's trading session at $5.39. And as of now, guys, we find the stock of this company that is based out of Israel 72% of its highs. Wow. So if you're bullish on Nano Dimension, and I know that this company has a lot of bulls out there, what are you waiting for, guys? This is loading up territory. This is loading the boat territory. If tomorrow, guys, the stock of this company is going to be on the very top of my personal watch list, because I really like I really like Nano Dimension. Maybe not, at a long term, but I do like this company at least at a midterm. I think that this company is developing a disruptive technology, and if everything happens to go well for Nano Dimension, these prices that we are seeing as of now are going to be ridiculous in 4 or 5 years. So from a technical standpoint, guys, we can obviously notice that the stock of this company doesn't look any good. We have a clear downtrend, and today the bulls of NNDM weren't able to hold an important area of lower support near $5.40. $5.40 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such on 2 occasions back in the beginning of May. So if tomorrow I happen to see NNDM reconquering this area of lower support that was broken to the downside near $5.40 and starting to consolidate at $5.50, $5.55, I am going to be picking up 200 or 300 shares of NNDM, in which case my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance at $6.62. $6.60 or 62 cents is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of NNDM failed back on August 10. They also failed back on July 21st, but we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Nano Dimension failed back on December 4th of last year. So picking up shares of Nano Dimension near $5.50 and selling out of those shares at $6.60 or 70 cents, we could be potentially locking in a profit of 20%. That's a very solid profit. And take a look at how this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart is coinciding with the former area of support and resistance that I just told you guys about near $6.70. So we can make the case that this level, this area, is going to act as a very important area of overhead resistance for Nano Dimension. And that's the reason why I would be locking in the profit at $6.60. So watch out tomorrow for NNDM bursting above $5.50 and starting to consolidate slightly above that price. And with Nano Dimension, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember, and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. On our Instagram account, we are posting news and information. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys once again tomorrow, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.